Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful, life-changing concepts in the world, raising your value and creating space for people to miss you. It's not just about being present all the time or constantly chasing validation. It's about knowing your worth and making sure others recognize it. So let's dive deep into how you can elevate yourself to the point where people want you around, not because you're always there, but because you've given them the chance to see just how valuable you truly are. First and foremost, you need to stop undervaluing yourself. If you're constantly available, constantly showing up, always ready to serve without setting boundaries, you're telling the world that your time, your energy, your worth is cheap. And when you do that, you are giving others the permission to take you for granted. Listen closely. People value what they can't easily have. Think about it. If you're always at someone's beck and call, they won't appreciate you the way you deserve. The more accessible you are, the less special you become. But when you create that distance, when you're not always right there, guess what? People start realizing just how much they miss you. And that's when you start raising your value in their eyes. Now, raising your value isn't about playing games. It's not about manipulation. It's about respecting yourself enough to walk away, to stand in your power. You've got to demand the respect and attention you deserve by creating a little mystery. Don't always give everything you've got. Don't let people see every part of you all the time. Keep some of that magic to yourself. When you give everything away, you dilute your own power. But when you hold back just enough, you're leaving people wanting more. This doesn't mean you pull away to punish others or to try and make them feel guilty. No, this is about protecting your energy. It's about being selective about where you invest your time, your focus, and your love. The right people will notice. They will come to appreciate you in a way they never could when you were always there. They'll start to see the value you bring when you're no longer at their constant disposal. And when that happens, the dynamic shifts. You're no longer the one chasing, they are. They begin to recognize just how much you mean to them. Now, the key here is self-worth. If you don't know your value, if you don't believe in your own worth, then no one else will. The value you hold inside is the value you project to the world. If you think you're just another option in someone's life, that's exactly how they'll treat you. But if you see yourself as rare, as precious, as unrepeatable, then the world will treat you the same way. People will come to understand that being around you is not a given. It's a privilege. It's about standing in your own power. You're not doing this to make others feel bad. You're doing this because you respect yourself enough to know that you don't need to be in front of people 24/7 to prove your worth. You can create that space and let others come to the realization of your value. When they realize that, they'll miss you. And that's when you truly become valuable to them. So let's get real for a second. How often are you giving too much? How often are you overextending yourself to people who aren't valuing your time? Today, you've got to make a decision. You've got to raise your value by creating that space. Stop chasing. Start standing tall. Let them miss you and watch how your worth skyrockets. It's time to stop being available all the time. Time to stop undervaluing yourself, create the distance, protect your energy, and let others realize that they can't take you for granted. Your worth is too high for that. Now go out there and raise your value. Let them miss you. And watch how your life transforms when people start seeing you for who you really are. Knowing your worth is the foundation of everything in life. It's not about arrogance or entitlement. It's about recognizing the immense value you bring to the table and understanding that this value is not dependent on anyone else's validation or approval. When you know your worth, you stop settling for less and you stop allowing people or situations to diminish the importance of who you are. It means fully acknowledging the uniqueness of your skills, qualities, and experiences and understanding how they make you an irreplaceable force in the world. Most people go through life undervaluing themselves. They downplay their talents, ignore their strengths, and often allow themselves to be defined by the opinions of others. This creates a cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. When you don't know your worth, you'll find yourself constantly chasing after external validation. You may find yourself in situations or relationships where you're overextending, giving everything you have, and yet feeling unappreciated or unnoticed. The real problem isn't with others, is that you've allowed the circumstances to dictate your value instead of claiming it for yourself. The moment you truly understand your worth, everything shifts. You stop giving away your time, energy, and resources to people or situations that don't align with who you are and what you stand for. You stop chasing approval and start attracting respect. When you know your worth, you stop measuring your success by the standards set by others, and you begin to define it on your own terms. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback or constructive criticism, but you take it in a way that's empowering, not diminishing. Knowing your worth also requires deep self-awareness. It's about taking the time to reflect on your life, your achievements, and the obstacles you've overcome. It's acknowledging your failures without letting them define you, and recognizing the lessons they taught you. You see, your worth is not only found in your successes, but also in your ability to persevere through challenges, to rise above the storms, and to come out stronger on the other side. One of the most powerful ways to reinforce your worth is through self-care. When you take care of your body, mind, and spirit, you are making a statement to yourself and to the world that you value yourself. You stop allowing others to treat you poorly because you recognize that you deserve better. You make choices that honor your well-being, whether it's setting boundaries with others, seeking out positive influences, or eliminating toxic habits. Your worth isn't just something you think about, it's something you show through your actions. You must also realize that knowing your worth doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It simply means you are aware of your own potential and the unique contributions you can make to the world. It's important to understand that your value doesn't diminish just because someone else has a different skill set or perspective. Everyone has their own inherent worth, but it's up to you to recognize yours and embrace it. This confidence in your worth allows you to collaborate with others, to lift them up, and to build stronger relationships because you're no longer operating from a place of scarcity or insecurity. When you know your worth, you no longer accept disrespect, mistreatment, or mediocrity. You set standards that reflect the value you place on yourself. This doesn't mean you're closed off to constructive criticism or areas for growth, but you no longer accept anything less than what you deserve. This self-assurance allows you to make decisions that serve your best interests, even when it means walking away from people or situations that don't align with your values. Another important aspect of knowing your worth is not being afraid to stand alone. Too often, people will compromise their values or settle for less just to fit in or avoid conflict. But when you know your worth, you recognize that it's better to stand alone than to settle for anything less than what you deserve. This may mean losing certain people or opportunities, but in the end, it will make space for those who truly appreciate you and what you bring to the table. Knowing your worth helps you to confidently walk away from anything or anyone that doesn't reflect that value. Knowing your worth also enables you to be generous without losing yourself. When you understand your own value, you give from a place of abundance, not depletion. You can offer your time, energy, and resources to others, knowing that it won't take away from who you are. You give because you genuinely want to, not because you feel obligated or desperate for validation. Your generosity becomes a reflection of your strength, not your weakness. A big part of understanding your worth is also recognizing your potential. There's so much untapped power inside of you, but it can only be realized when you fully believe in your own capacity. This means having the courage to dream big and to take bold steps toward those dreams. It means pushing through fear, doubt, and resistance, because you know that the goals you set for yourself are not only achievable, but they are also worthy of your pursuit. When you truly know your worth, you take full responsibility for your life. You stop blaming circumstances or other people for where you are, and you realize that your present situation is a reflection of the choices you've made up until this point. This realization is empowering because it means you have the ability to change your trajectory. Your worth isn't tied to past mistakes or setbacks. It's tied to your ability to learn, grow, and continue moving forward. Finally, knowing your worth means having the courage to own it. It's one thing to understand your value in theory, but it's another to confidently step into it and express it to the world. This might be uncomfortable at first. It may feel unnatural to assert your worth, especially if you've been used to hiding it or downplaying it for so long. But the more you own it, the more you begin to see the world respond to you differently. When you show up as your authentic self, unapologetically owning your worth, you begin to attract the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances that align with who you are and what you want. Knowing your worth is the ultimate key to unlocking your potential. It's the gateway to living a life that is in alignment with your true self. And when you truly know your worth, you stop seeking external validation because you are already internally grounded in your own value. It's not about ego, and it's not about being better than anyone else. It's simply about knowing that you are enough just as you are. Creating space, not distance, is one of the most essential yet overlooked principles when it comes to relationships, personal growth, and overall well-being. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, there's often an unspoken pressure to always be available, always be present, and always be on for everyone around us. But what happens when we're constantly accessible? We diminish our value. We allow ourselves to become so entangled in the lives of others that we forget our own importance. The key to raising your value, whether in relationships, career, or life, is to create space, not distance. And there's a big difference between the two. When you create space, you are giving both yourself and others the opportunity to reflect, to miss you, and to appreciate what you bring to the table. Creating space is about setting healthy boundaries that allow you to be present when it matters, but also to retreat and recharge when you need to. It's about having the wisdom and the discipline to know when to step back, knowing that your absence will make others value your presence even more. On the other hand, distance comes from a place of fear or frustration. It's a defense mechanism, a reaction to feeling overwhelmed or underappreciated. Distance says, I'm pulling away because I don't want to deal with this, or I'm withdrawing because I feel hurt or disrespected. Distance is often emotional, and it's born from a place of insecurity or desperation. It can be a reaction to a situation that feels out of control, and instead of allowing time and space for growth, it can create more tension and confusion. Creating space, however, is a proactive choice. It's about deciding that you have value and that your time and energy are precious. When you choose to create space, you are taking responsibility for how you show up in the world, and you're also respecting your own needs and desires. You're not letting anyone dictate your worth or how much of yourself you give away. You're recognizing that in order to maintain your own well-being, you need time for yourself, time to recharge, and time to grow. By creating this space, you allow others to see your value. When you're not always available to them, many people have a hard time with this concept because they fear being abandoned, rejected, or forgotten. They feel that if they aren't constantly available, they will lose the connection with others, whether it's in friendships, romantic relationships, or their professional life. The truth is, if you are always available, you can never truly be appreciated. People don't miss what they don't recognize its value until it's gone, even if it's just for a little while. Creating space gives people the chance to miss you, to reflect on what you offer, and to realize just how important you are to their lives. In relationships, whether personal or professional, creating space is crucial for maintaining a healthy balance. When we're always available to others, we begin to lose our own identity. We mold ourselves to meet their needs, often at the expense of our own. This kind of imbalance doesn't allow room for personal growth or individuality. However, when you create space, you're not just taking time for yourself, you're also allowing the other person or group the chance to miss your energy, your presence, and your contribution. The absence creates a longing, and that longing can help people realize just how important you are. The beauty of this is that it's not manipulative. It's simply about maintaining a sense of self and encouraging others to recognize and respect your worth. Creating space also means learning how to say no. Many people struggle with this because they fear disappointing others or being seen as selfish. But the truth is, saying no is one of the most empowering things you can do for both yourself and others. By setting boundaries, you're teaching people how to respect your time and energy. You're showing them that you have priorities and that you value yourself enough to not overextend. When you say no, you're also creating room for the things and people that truly matter. You're allowing space for what aligns with your values, goals, and overall well-being. It's also important to understand that creating space isn't about being emotionally distant or cutting people off. It's not about withdrawing in a way that causes harm or confusion. Creating space is about creating a healthy distance where you can still be connected, but not overly dependent. It's about finding the balance between closeness and independence. This balance allows you to have meaningful, fulfilling relationships while still maintaining a sense of autonomy and self-respect. You are able to give without losing yourself in the process. It's about offering your time, attention, and energy in a way that feels good to you and creates space for the other person to grow as well. When you create space, you're also allowing yourself to step back and gain perspective. Sometimes we get so caught up in the day-to-day grind of life that we forget to step back and see the bigger picture. Creating space gives you the opportunity to reflect on your life, your choices, and your goals. It gives you the chance to reset, recharge, and realign with what truly matters. You can't be the best version of yourself when you're constantly giving away all your energy to others without taking time for yourself. Creating space allows you to be more present when you do engage with others because you've replenished yourself and are coming from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Another benefit of creating space is that it allows for personal growth. When you're constantly surrounded by others, it's easy to get caught up in their energy, their problems, and their needs. It can distract you from your own path and prevent you from focusing on your own personal development. By creating space, you create the opportunity for reflection, introspection, and self-improvement. You allow yourself the time and freedom to explore your own goals, desires, and passions. You create a fertile ground for growth and evolution. And when you return to the people and situations that matter, you'll be better equipped to show up in the most authentic and impactful way possible. Creating space is also key to attracting the right people and opportunities into your life. When you constantly give and never take a step back, you're sending the message that you're available for anything, that you don't have high standards for your time, and that you're willing to settle for whatever comes your way. But when you create space, you send a completely different message. You show that you have high standards, that you value your time, and that you're not going to settle for anything less than what you deserve. This creates a magnetic energy that attracts people who recognize and appreciate your worth. In every area of your life, creating space is essential for maintaining your sense of self, ensuring your well-being, and fostering meaningful relationships. It's not about distancing yourself out of fear or frustration. It's about creating a healthy balance where you can step back, reflect, and return with more clarity, energy, and purpose. Creating space allows people to recognize your value, and it allows you to be the best version of yourself. The space you create will not only help you grow, it will also help others grow. It's a win-win situation that benefits everyone involved. Protecting your energy is one of the most crucial elements to living a fulfilling and successful life. Every day, you encounter a myriad of people, situations, and experiences that can either uplift or drain you. In a world that's often chaotic, demanding, and overwhelming, it's easy to lose sight of the importance of guarding your energy. Most people underestimate the amount of energy they give away, often without even realizing it. And as a result, they find themselves mentally, emotionally, and physically depleted. When you don't protect your energy, you allow others to dictate your state of being. The truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you don't take the time to protect and replenish your energy, you'll have nothing left to give, and you'll end up feeling frustrated, burned out, and unfulfilled. The first step in protecting your energy is to become conscious of how you spend it. Every interaction, every task, every decision you make requires energy. The people you surround yourself with, the environments you expose yourself to, and even the thoughts you entertain all contribute to how much energy you have available. It's easy to let your energy slip away without even noticing, especially if you're constantly focused on fulfilling the needs and expectations of others. This is why self-awareness is the key to understanding where your energy is going. When you become mindful of what drains you and what uplifts you, you can make more intentional choices about how to allocate your energy. One of the biggest energy drains comes from toxic relationships. These are relationships where you're constantly giving but not receiving the support, respect, or appreciation that you deserve. Toxic people can take many forms, whether they're narcissistic, manipulative, overly demanding, or just constantly negative. The more you engage with people who drain your energy, the less energy you have for the things that matter. It's important to recognize these relationships and set boundaries. Protecting your energy often means walking away from people who don't respect your time, your values, or your well-being. This can be a difficult decision, especially when you've invested a lot of time and emotion into these relationships, but it's necessary for your mental and emotional health. By distancing yourself from toxic people, you make space for healthier, more positive connections that energize and inspire you. Another area where protecting your energy is essential is in the realm of work and productivity. Many people get caught in the hustle, constantly pushing themselves to do more, be more, and accomplish more. While ambition is important, overworking yourself without taking the time to recharge is a surefire way to burn out. If you're constantly running on empty, you won't be able to give your best. Protecting your energy in your professional life means knowing when to step back, take breaks, and prioritize self-care. It means setting boundaries around work hours and learning to say no to commitments that will overextend you. Your time and energy are finite resources, so it's important to be strategic about where you invest them. By learning to protect your energy in the workplace, you can avoid burnout and maintain your focus, creativity, and drive. The environment you expose yourself to also plays a significant role in how much energy you have available. Negative, chaotic, or overwhelming environments can quickly drain your energy and leave you feeling mentally and emotionally fatigued. If you're constantly surrounded by stress, conflict, or negativity, it's hard to feel centered and grounded. Protecting your energy means being mindful of the environments you choose to spend time in. It might mean stepping away from toxic social media spaces or choosing not to engage in conversations that drain you. It could also mean curating a physical space that fosters peace, relaxation, and creativity, whether that's a quiet place to work, a calm living space, or a serene outdoor environment. When you control your environment, you protect your energy and create the conditions for growth, creativity, and well-being. Your thoughts also play a massive role in how much energy you have. Negative self-talk, worry, and doubt can quickly deplete your mental energy, leaving you feeling stuck and overwhelmed. The mind is incredibly powerful, and the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind shape your reality. Protecting your energy means being intentional with your thoughts and choosing to focus on what uplifts you, motivates you, and empowers you. It's about cultivating a mindset of positivity, gratitude, and possibility. When you protect your mental energy by choosing empowering thoughts, you create a sense of clarity and purpose that propels you forward instead of holding you back. Negative thinking patterns not only drain your energy, but they also limit your potential. Protecting your energy requires mental discipline and the ability to recognize when your thoughts are working against you. When you notice negative patterns emerging, you can reframe them and redirect your focus toward more constructive and positive thinking. Another crucial aspect of protecting your energy is learning to say no. One of the most powerful tools you have in your arsenal is the ability to set boundaries. When you say yes to everything, you are essentially saying no to yourself and your needs. Saying yes to commitments, invitations, or requests that don't align with your goals, values, or priorities can quickly lead to burnout. Protecting your energy means being selective about what you agree to and making sure that your choices are in alignment with your highest good. It's okay to say no without feeling guilty. In fact, it's essential. When you say no, you're creating space for the things and people that truly matter. You're protecting your energy and ensuring that you have the time and resources to invest in what truly aligns with your vision for your life. Rest and recovery are also critical components of protecting your energy. In a world that often glorifies busyness and constant productivity, it's easy to neglect the importance of rest. However, without proper rest, your body, mind, and spirit cannot function at their best. Protecting your energy means making rest a priority. This can take many forms, whether it's getting enough sleep, taking regular breaks throughout the day, or carving out time for activities that rejuvenate you, such as meditation, exercise, or spending time with loved ones. When you rest and recover, you restore your energy and prepare yourself to show up fully in all areas of your life. You cannot pour into others if you are running on empty. By prioritizing rest, you ensure that you're always operating at your highest potential. Lastly, protecting your energy requires a deep commitment to self-care. Self-care isn't just about bubble baths or pampering yourself. It's about taking the time to nourish your body, mind, and soul. This might mean eating foods that fuel your body, exercising regularly, practicing mindfulness, or seeking out activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Self-care is about honoring yourself and making sure that your physical, emotional, and mental needs are being met. When you take care of yourself, you are better equipped to handle the demands of life and support others without sacrificing your own well-being. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's necessary. If you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to make a meaningful impact in the world, you must protect the most valuable resource you have, your energy. When you learn to guard it, nurture it, and replenish it, you become unstoppable. You create the space for growth, clarity, and power, and you allow yourself to show up in the world as the best possible version of yourself. Stop overextending. This simple yet powerful concept is one of the most transformative actions you can take for your own well-being and success. In a world that constantly demands more time, more energy, more effort, people often find themselves spread too thin trying to meet the expectations of everyone around them while neglecting their own needs. Overextending yourself may seem like the right thing to do. After all, society often praises people who are always available, always helpful, and always going the extra mile. But the truth is that overextending is a fast track to burnout, resentment, and a loss of personal power. When you overextend, and you're essentially giving away too much of yourself without considering the cost. You're saying yes to everything and everyone, often out of sense of obligation or a desire to please others. You may feel that if you don't say yes, you'll disappoint someone, or worse, you'll be seen as selfish or unimportant. The problem with this mindset is that it neglects the reality that your time, energy, and resources are finite. If you're constantly overcommitting to everything and everyone, you have nothing left to give to yourself. Over time, this imbalance can lead to a depletion of your physical, mental, and emotional resources. The first step in stopping the cycle of overextension is to recognize that your value does not lie in how much you give to others. Many people mistakenly believe that in order to be valuable, they must be constantly serving, helping, or accommodating the needs of others. While it's important to be supportive and generous, your worth is not defined by your ability to say yes to every request or offer. When you stop overextending, you stop giving away your power. You stop placing your value in external validation and start recognizing that your time and energy are sacred. You begin to understand that saying no is just as important as saying yes, and that you have the right to prioritize your own needs and goals. Overextending often happens because we fear missing out or being left behind. We fear that if we don't take on every opportunity or fulfill every request, we'll miss a chance to grow, connect, or achieve something important. But the truth is, trying to do everything usually means doing nothing well. When you overextend yourself, you dilute your focus and energy. You spread yourself so thin that you can't give your best effort to anything. The result is mediocrity, stress, and a sense of dissatisfaction. By learning to stop overextending, you can focus your energy on the things that truly matter, the things that align with your values and goals. This shift in mindset allows you to give your full attention and effort to the tasks and relationships that are most important, while letting go of the things that are draining or unimportant. Another key element of stopping overextension is learning to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are a powerful tool for protecting your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Without boundaries, it's easy to say yes to everything because you're not clear on where your limits are. Setting boundaries isn't about being rude or unhelpful. It's about creating a clear understanding of what you are willing and able to do. When you set boundaries, you teach others how to treat you and what to expect from you. Boundaries allow you to manage your commitments more effectively, ensuring that you don't take on more than you can handle. This creates space for you to recharge, focus on your own needs, and pursue your own goals. Learning to say no is one of the most empowering ways to stop overextending. Saying no doesn't mean you're being selfish or unkind. It means you're respecting your own limits. It's an act of self-respect and self-care. Saying no allows you to preserve your energy and time for the things that align with your true priorities. It may be uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to saying yes to everything, but with practice, saying no becomes easier and more natural. The more you say no to things that don't serve you, the more you create space for things that do. By stopping overextending, you take control of your life and begin to design a life that reflects your values and aspirations. Overextending also leads to a lack of balance. When you're constantly saying yes to everything, you neglect other important aspects of your life, such as rest, personal growth, and relationships. You may find yourself so busy taking care of other people's needs that you forget to take care of your own. This lack of balance can lead to burnout, stress, and frustration. By stopping overextending, you create balance in your life. You can prioritize self-care, nurture your relationships, and focus on your own personal growth without feeling guilty or overburdened. When you stop overextending, you realize that taking care of yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. You need to be at your best in order to be of service to others, and that requires you to put your own well-being first. One of the biggest challenges to stopping overextension is the fear of disappointing others. People often worry that if they say no or set boundaries, they'll let someone down or damage a relationship. However, the reality is that by overextending yourself, you're more likely to damage the relationship in the long run. When you say yes to everything, you risk becoming resentful, exhausted, and disconnected. Over time, this resentment can erode the quality of your relationships. On the other hand, when you set boundaries and prioritize your own needs, you create a healthier dynamic in your relationships. You show others that you respect yourself, and you teach them to respect your time and energy as well. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and setting boundaries is an essential part of that respect. Stopping overextension also allows you to align your actions with your true values. Many people overextend because they feel obligated to meet the expectations of others or because they fear missing out on opportunities. But when you stop overextending, you give yourself the freedom to make choices that reflect your own values and desires. You become more intentional with your time and energy, choosing to invest in the things that truly matter to you. This clarity of focus allows you to live a more fulfilling life, one that's aligned with your personal goals and passions. It's also important to understand that stopping overextending doesn't mean becoming passive or disengaged. It doesn't mean withdrawing from the world or refusing to help others. It simply means being intentional with where you invest your time and energy. By stopping overextension, you become more selective about where you focus your efforts, ensuring that you're making the most of your resources. This leads to greater fulfillment, higher quality work, and deeper relationships because you're giving your best to the things that truly matter. When you stop overextending, you create a life that is more balanced, focused, and fulfilling. You learn to say no without guilt, set healthy boundaries, and prioritize your own needs. You stop giving away your energy to things and people that drain you, and instead you invest in the things that nurture and inspire you. By learning to stop overextending, you reclaim your time, your energy, and your power. You become more aligned with your true self and more capable of achieving your goals and living a life that reflects your deepest desires. One of the most important things you can do in your life is to become comfortable with discomfort. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone, and if you are constantly avoiding discomfort, you are stunting your own potential. The fear of discomfort is one of the biggest barriers people face when trying to achieve greatness. The moment you step outside the boundaries of what you know and what feels safe, you begin to face the uncertainty of the unknown. This is where the magic happens. You see, discomfort isn't something to run from. It's a signal that you're on the right path. It means you are pushing yourself beyond your current limits. And this is the only way to achieve true transformation. Most people spend the majority of their lives in a constant state of seeking comfort. From the clothes we wear to the food we eat, we are constantly looking for ways to make ourselves feel comfortable and secure. This desire for comfort is natural, but it can also be limiting. When you get too comfortable, you stop growing. You stop challenging yourself and trying new things. The truth is, comfort zones are prisons of your own making. They are barriers that keep you from stepping into the person you are meant to be. They trap you in a cycle of mediocrity and prevent you from realizing your full potential. The key to success is learning how to embrace discomfort, to view it as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. Discomfort is necessary for development. When you push yourself beyond what feels comfortable, your mind, body, and spirit are forced to adapt. This adaptation process is where growth happens. Whether it's taking on a new challenge, learning a new skill, or stepping into a difficult conversation, every experience that makes you feel uncomfortable is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The more you step into discomfort, the more you learn about yourself and what you are capable of. The discomfort you feel is the universe's way of showing you that you're capable of more than you realize. The fear of discomfort holds many people back from pursuing their dreams. People fear failure, rejection, and criticism, all of which are forms of discomfort. But when you realize that discomfort is a natural part of the process, you can begin to shift your perspective. Instead of fearing discomfort, you can learn to welcome it as a sign that you are on the path to something greater. Failure is not the end. It's a stepping stone. Rejection is not personal, it's just part of the journey. Criticism is an opportunity to learn and grow. Once you shift your mindset around discomfort, you no longer see it as a threat, but as an invitation to evolve. Taking action in the face of discomfort is a skill that needs to be developed. It's easy to avoid discomfort by procrastinating or making excuses, but these behaviors only delay your growth. The more you resist discomfort, the more you reinforce your fear of it. On the other hand, the more you lean into discomfort, the stronger you become. The more you push through your fears and doubts, the more you build confidence in your ability to handle whatever challenges come your way. It's not about avoiding discomfort. It's about embracing it and taking action anyway. The ability to take action in the face of discomfort is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It will serve you in every area of your life, from your career to your relationships to your personal growth. One of the most transformative things you can do is start to reframe discomfort. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, see it as a signal that you are doing something right. It's a sign that you are on the path to growth. Think about the times in your life when you faced difficult situations or challenges. You probably felt a lot of discomfort, but those are the experiences that have shaped you into who you are today. You learned valuable lessons, developed new skills, and became stronger as a result. Without those uncomfortable moments, you wouldn't have the wisdom or resilience that you have now. Discomfort is a powerful teacher. It pushes you to evolve and to become better. Another powerful way to embrace discomfort is to recognize that it is temporary. Discomfort isn't permanent. The more you experience it and push through it, the less intense it becomes. You start to build tolerance and resilience, and eventually, what once felt uncomfortable becomes familiar. The key is to keep going. Often people give up just before they experience a breakthrough, because they can't tolerate the discomfort. But if you can push through just a little longer, you'll discover that the discomfort was only temporary and that the growth on the other side is worth it. In many cases, the discomfort you feel is a direct result of your own limiting beliefs. You may believe that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable of achieving your goals. These beliefs create a sense of discomfort when you try to take action toward your dreams. The discomfort is the gap between who you think you are and who you're capable of becoming. This is where the power of mindset comes into play. When you change your mindset and begin to believe that you are capable of achieving greatness, the discomfort begins to lose its grip on you. You start to see discomfort as a challenge to overcome rather than a barrier that stops you. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the willingness to sit with discomfort. The more comfortable you become with discomfort, the more equipped you will be to handle the challenges that life throws your way. Life is full of uncertainty, change, and unpredictability, and discomfort is a constant companion on the journey. The more you learn to navigate discomfort, the more resilient and adaptable you become. When you stop fearing discomfort, you free yourself to pursue your dreams, take risks, and achieve things that once seemed impossible. The key is not to avoid discomfort, but to use it as fuel for your growth. Instead of running from discomfort, run toward it. Embrace the discomfort that comes with stepping into new opportunities, trying new things, and taking risks. Every time you face discomfort and push through it, you become stronger, more confident, and more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. You begin to realize that discomfort is not something to fear, but something to welcome. It's the path to your greatest growth, the gateway to your next level of success, and the foundation of your future achievements.